Welcome to Small Town Small Talk.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Small Town Small Talk, episode 5. I am your host, Sam, and today I'm joined with Keith,
What's up, guys?
Jeremy,
Hey, guys.
and Uncle Trent.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
So, as you probably guessed, today's episode is going to be a little different than our other episodes. We're going to be doing a deep dive into depression, anxiety, and mental health altogether. This is not a normal thing. We're going to be back next week with your regular Small Town Small Talk, what you're used to. But the reason we're doing this is because when we started this podcast, it's something that we wanted to do. Just have every 5-10 episodes, do something a little bit more serious, because we know what it feels like to be let down, to not be necessarily happy all the time. And mental health, it affects everybody. It's not just you. It affects family. It affects your friends, and it affects us. And we'll definitely get into some of the ways it has affected our lives. And we want you to know that we're not here to diagnose you. We couldn't diagnose anyone. Last episode, we talked about shit for probably 15 minutes. So, but we're not here to diagnose you, not here to tell you what to do. We're just here because, well, we want to connect with you guys on a personal level, and we want to tell you about us, and we'd love to hear about you. And we're definitely going to give you some resources if you're feeling down to get help. So, without further ado, here's Small Town Small Talk. So let's just, we're just going to dive straight into it, I guess. Do any of you guys have any stories about a time you felt depressed or upset or had bad anxiety?
Yeah.
Jeremy?
It was actually about, we're coming up on probably a year now. I had a lot of stuff happen in my life over the last year and a half. And with everything that happened, I got into this really bad, deep depression. I ended up in hospital for a week. I mean, we're just diving straight in. End of June last year, I tried to kill myself.
Jesus.
And shit was bad. I wasn't happy with where I was in life. A lot of stuff was happening in my life, and it really affected me. And I ended up getting diagnosed in the mental hospital, bipolar 1, which is like manic depressive, and major depressive disorder with recurring episodes. And it was actually really nice to go and like seek the help, because not only did I figure out like, okay, this is what's actually wrong with me, but it gave me like tools to cope with everything. It helped a lot with all of that shit. So I definitely I advocate for people going to get help and shit. So definitely, if you're feeling down, don't fight it by yourself. Don't think that you can handle it, because that's exactly what I did for years. You know, I haven't had the easiest life, and in no way am I saying that for sympathy, but I've been down that road multiple times, and facing it by yourself isn't the answer. You need to have a support group. You need to be able to sit and release all of that pent-up energy and stop facing it by yourself, or you're just going to keep wallowing and digging yourself down a farther hole.
And that's the thing about it. I don't think there's a single person on this earth who has ever not thought about what would happen if I just didn't wake up tomorrow, if my life just ended. I'm sure everybody has thought about that once, and it's not a bad feeling. It's a normal feeling, and
It's not easy to deal with by any means, but like it's definitely normal. I think everybody goes through a phase at one point in their life where they face some sort of depression.
I don't know, man. I guess for me, it's just more anxiety. I just can't deal with day to day is just hard for me to motivate myself to get through shit. I done lost a couple motherfuckers who were real close to me within just a couple of years, family, sickness and shit, you know. So like, that shit, that's what affects me the most, man. It's just an anxiety of feeling like, I don't know, you can't live without somebody, you know? Because I lost somebody who was probably the closest person on earth to me. And it's every day. There's probably not a day I don't wake up and think about it. Think about how I could have done something different, maybe interact a different way, maybe not be there some of them nights, getting fucked up, maybe doing something way different. So it just changes my effect on life now, trying to be a better dad, trying to make sure that I can show someone, I don't know, I fucked up a lot. And for me to try to slow down, and I'm not saying I'm a saint by far, that's by far, but it just is fucking a lot. Drugs fucking fuel depression, man. I tell you that, and that's kind. I've done just about everything under the sun that you can do, and I've never felt worse than when I've been fucked up, rolling weeks on weeks, getting high, and then when you snap out of it and you're not high and you realize what you've been doing and what's going on around you, that's when you feel shitty. It's not I don't know. It's the situational thing when you're doing drugs and you're getting high. Yeah. It doesn't really affect you until either you stop rolling or while you're getting fucked up, you just realize you don't want to get fucked up anymore.
It's like there's a demon that follows you everywhere, and as soon as you smoke or whatever you do to get high, he disappears until you sober up, something sort of like that.
Yeah, kind of, exactly. Some motherfuckers, you know, I smoke a lot of weed. I ain't even gonna lie. That's my crutch. Smoke a lot to keep from bugging out. I probably lose my shit on a lot of motherfuckers and lose my cool, but that's how I keep stable. I just blow a couple blunts, and I'll be able to smile at a motherfucker who usually I want to spaz out on or say something to or interact a negative way with. You know what I mean?
But we're all like that. You see how many beers on the fucking table right now.
I guess it's just something to take the edge off. Motherfuckers don't want to feel like, I don't know. Motherfuckers don't want to feel what they feel every day in their mind. Drinking a beer, smoking a blunt, that gets you away for a second. Now, if you start doing it to get away from it and you start doing more to get away from it, that's when it's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
When you fucking, you just getting fucked up, rolling through. You get caught up in that. It's like a tornado. And it can happen with anything, you know? Either you cracking a beer as soon as you wake up, you fucking smoking as soon as you wake up, you snoring as soon as you wake up, popping, whatever you're doing. You get in a cycle, it catches you.
Life hit me really fucking hard. This is when I wasn't back in Troy yet, or in our small town. I don't know. I just didn't have, like, kind of what Jeremy said. I didn't really have anybody around me. So fucking life was shitty. I was just getting super fucked up. Like, I mean, you guys know how much I drink now, but I was drinking like double that when I wasn't here because I didn't have like all my family and shit there, and it was just really shitty. I don't know, man. It was weird.
I know, like you were isolated.
So
it was really fucking weird.
What was the point when you realized that you needed to get some help?
Fuck.
If you don't mind sharing.
I don't know. I kind of figured it out by myself. It's kind of fucked up, but like, that's when I got my dog, and then shit like really changed a lot. It sounds really fucking stupid, and like probably doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but it like, I don't know, it really changed a lot. Cause then like, people like for me, I go home and I talk to my dog. That sounds really fucked up, but I do. It's just like, that's that motherfucker I can go home and just chill with and talk to. It's like you got somebody else there and you're not just by yourself. Because I fucking grew up with 2 brothers and a sister and my mom there all the time. So like when you're not around that anymore, you're like, you don't know what the hell to do. Especially when I feel like when you have a twin brother, because that's like you're closer to them than anybody, you know?
Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me though when I moved to like O'Fallon. I got away from like everybody who I really knew, and I only knew a couple motherfuckers who I like party with, you know. So once I started getting fucked up and got out of hand, and the only people I know out there are partying, are willing to party. I fucking remember one time I just was fucked up all night, and I was still fucked up, and I like woke up wrecked, and I was like, man, I cannot do this anymore. Like, I cannot keep rolling. I don't even know who to call right now. I got no one who I can call who couldn't be here within 10 minutes. So that's when I was like, fuck this shit. I'm going back to Troy.
Yeah, I remember my defining moment, actually, now that you said that. Like, I still had, like, the place I was living, I still had, like, 3 months left on my lease. And I just, like, could not fucking, like, every day I woke up and I was like, I do not want to fucking be here, dude. This is fucking awful. So, like, I just took every bit of money I had left and, like, paid off my lease and, like, came back to Troy. So I was like, I need to be around my family and shit like that. That was, like, my defining moment, I guess.
That's why I don't think I ever want to leave Troy. I got such bad anxiety about just, I guess, a cycle. I see the same people every week. I do similar things to the same thing every week.
Yeah, your creature habit.
Exactly. So, like, when I think about getting away, like, people want to move away and, like, oh, there's more money there and shit, like, that shit stresses me out. Fuck the money. When
Yeah,
I
true.
gotta establish new relationships with people, I can't even. I'll laugh and be funny to cope with the fact that I don't even want to talk to a stranger or be around a group of people for real. Because I'd rather hang out like this and fucking just chill and get fucked up and not have to talk to fucking 15, 20 faces. That it's a fucking stress for real.
Mm-hmm.
Anxiety is a motherfucker.
So you would say you have like social anxiety?
I'd say I never really got help or done anything, but I cannot handle. I don't know. As soon as I'm like uncomfortable, I just got to be funny.
Mm-hmm. I can definitely see that.
Like, I don't know. Or just peace. I do like that black guy. That's why like sometimes I'll like be trying to stay the night at someone's house and I'll get uncomfortable and I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll be right back. And I'm gone. And the world is crazy now, man. Like people, I don't know. People just don't talk about shit that's on their mind and then snap. They
Yeah,
do
that's very
fucking
true.
reckless shit. Like,
Dude, I definitely agree with that. I think communication's like broken down a lot with people as social media gets
And that's
more
the
and more
thing.
prevalent.
There's so many ways to talk to people now, and it's, in my opinion, it's not really helping. These people are getting their voices like muffled, watered down. Yeah, these people are getting their voices watered down like every day because everybody's online, everybody's on Facebook. It's like you say something and maybe you'll get sad that nobody likes it or something like that.
Yeah, or you make a post talking about something like how you might be sad or how you just feeling down, and people will like, I don't know, they'll like it or comment, but you don't really get a lot of reaching out, you know? People don't reach out to motherfuckers anymore. Like, you just lose communication with people, like Jeremy said. That's pretty much it. People don't talk anymore. Like, after high school, think about how many people you talk to on a weekly basis in high school, or a daily basis, actually, who you don't even talk to weekly anymore.
Yeah, no shit.
Mhm.
I didn't talk to any of you motherfuckers in high school.
And now we talk hourly. So, you know, like,
Yeah.
that's what I really like, being in routine with friends. That's what really
Yeah,
fucking
true.
settles me down. Like, I love to hang out with people every day. Motherfuckers can come over or let me come over every day because being around my friends, like, that's my crutch. That helps so much.
For sure, dude. That's why I said support groups, dude.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
shit helps so fucking much.
That's true. Like on the weekends and shit, like if we don't go and do something, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
Like, fuck, dude. Or you just need like you need something else more than just like work, come home, sit on the couch, and just like just sit there by yourself all weekend.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
yeah. We're definitely going to get out this summer. I can't wait to fucking reach out and do.
Yeah, that's another thing,
Do
dude.
some
I was
group
thinking
shit.
about it. Like, I haven't taken a vacation in 5 years. I know it's really not saying shit because I've only been working. What am I, 25? Yeah. So I guess as long as I've been working, I've never taken a vacation. That's like kind of fucked up.
Have you ever taken a staycation?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Sometimes them are pretty good. I'm not saying they're better than vacations, but they could be.
Sometimes you need a staycation though, just so you don't like fucking snap at work. Like I know for my job, like during the summer, like we work a disgusting amount of overtime, and you just got to be like, dude, like I'm done for like a couple of days. Like I need a break, dude.
That's like I remember when I lost my friend and like trying to go back to work like a couple weeks later or something and still not feeling right. I was just like, man, I need just, a solid week where I don't really have to fuck with anybody or do anything. I just need to go deal with everything I need to deal with, flush out, and come back way better. Because trying to push through shit when you're fucked up is terrible. Like, I tried to go years and years and years with that fucking mentality of like, you just put everything inside and it will, it works out. But your depression and anxiety, it doesn't pan out on its own. Like talking about it and letting that shit out has changed my life so much from being like fucking just stressed out at work. Just fucking your brain never settles. You can't even hardly think about your work, or either you do a task at work and right after your brain just goes back to jumbled thoughts of all the shit that's just fucking on your mind. And that will kill you doing that day to day, pressing yourself through that shit.
That's sort of why, like, in the military, like if you're on deployment or something, if somebody in your family dies, they're not going to tell you until you reach a place where everybody's like, well, when I was in the Navy, they called it liberty. So if you reached like a port or something, that's when they tell you, hey, your family member died or something like that, or I don't know. Just a bunch of different things like
Yeah, that makes sense. I see what you're saying.
Mhm,
So
because-
you're just not out at fucking
Right, so it's just
wherever.
not shock to you while you're possibly at war or in a dangerous situation just where you're deployed and you're stressed. Now you're stressed about two things that are majorly weighing in on you. I mean, I can't really relate because I never went to the military, but I can imagine the stress.
Yeah, that was pretty sad when I was in the military. Never got to see. Well, I didn't really have any friends out there, so I was by myself a lot, and it's just sad when you're by yourself a lot.
That's so shitty, yeah, dude.
Because like you'll go to a bar or something, nobody will really talk to you.
I've done that so many times. Like when I didn't live here, dude, and go to the bar all the time by myself. Yeah, dude, it does suck. You're like, wow, I'm a pathetic motherfucker.
And then you wake up early and you go to work. You are on your way home from work. You're like, cool, I'm going to go to the gym. Then I'm going to go grocery shopping. Just got to go home and change first. You get home and you're like, well, maybe I don't need to go to the gym today. Maybe I don't need to go grocery shopping. I'll just go get some fast food or something.
Yeah, and come back home.
And then you just stay at home, maybe take a nap, wake up at 9, not able to fall asleep.
That sucks. Being away from people you know sucks. So I was glad, like, when I went through a lot of shit, I moved out, and I moved into, like, a place where I had a lot of roommates. And that was so fucking awesome, dude. Like, because, like, coming home, you, like, even if I had a shit day at work, you know, like, I'd come home, and I'd go to my room, and no matter what, one of my roommates would come fuck with me. You know, they'd be like, hey, what are you doing? You want to fucking smoke? You want to chill something? So, like, even if I was shit and, like, just like, fuck, I don't want anybody to fuck with me, I'm the type of person, if you do come fuck with me, I'm just going to be like, yeah, I guess. Give me, like, 10 minutes, I'll be there. So, that shit fucking, support groups are where it's at, for real.
But you should never trust Trent with Trime.
Oh, yeah. No. Time
yeah.
management. Just add 25 minutes onto anything I give you, pretty much.
So, yeah, we've all talked about things that affected us in our lives. I just want to go around and say how we coped with our own personal demons and whatnot.
I had a really strong support group at the time. My old roommate, another one of my old roommates that I happened to work with, and she was there for me through everything. Like, she visited me every day that I could have visitors at the mental hospital. She was just a really huge part of me getting over everything. And medication also helped. I know that's not the case for everybody, but, you know, getting on my medication stabilized me. And I mean, I'm 6-7 months off of them now, and I'm fine now. But that's not to say that, you know, I won't have another, you know, episode happen or some shit. But medication and a support group, man, like that's really how I overcame everything. And I think that mostly weighs on my friends and them being there for me. And I really appreciate everything that they did for me during that time. And that's why I think that having a support group really fucking helps. And you have to know how to be a support group, though, too. Like, I don't want to tell people how to, you know, support their friends and shit, but there's going to be hard times.
Yeah, I understand that. For me, it was just like some of the, I guess my mentality was, you know, you just tough it out. And some of the closest people who I thought, you know, always just toughed it out and never, you know, talked about shit, kind of, you know, just told me, you know, just fucking, sometimes you do got to cool out. Sometimes you got to talk about some things. You don't let everything bother you and don't trip over small stuff. But some things are bigger and do bother you different ways. So that was a big thing, me talking about some things with people, me getting together with friends. Like, this podcast is a big fucking relief for me. A scheduled event, fucking come here and talk shit with you motherfuckers, drink.
For fucking sure.
And so that's a big thing for me, just getting out, getting around people who are positive, who, and I'm not saying who aren't maybe going through the same thing, but aren't trying to stay down. Not going to let something keep taking them down. You just get around uplifting people who aren't going to do the same shit and be stagnant.
I feel you. The only question I have is, you say we drink on this podcast. We never drink on this podcast.
Not a single fucking drop.
11 beers on the table? That's between 3. I'm not even drinking, so I want that to be known.
No, I kind of agree with what, I'm going to kind of say the same shit that Trent said. Like, growing up, you're supposed to be this tough motherfucker and all this shit, and never supposed to, like, talk about how you feel and shit like that. But having my dog and calling my mom, like, a couple times a week definitely helped. Because she was, like, the only person I told all my shit to. Especially when you're not around, like, all those motherfuckers that, like, your friends and shit, that you can tell shit to.
Yeah,
And then, like, I'm kind of in a weird spot right now because my mom lives in Atlanta now, so she's fucking 1,000 miles away, so it's going to be weird to, like, I don't know, almost figure this shit out all over again.
Yeah, my parents were a big supportive role for me, too. Like, I was always, like, scared to tell somebody, you know, like, how I felt. And then, like, once I finally did, the way that everybody I told reacted, that was the biggest thing. Like, no, it was no judgment, no, you know, stifling. Like, it was just, what's up, how do you feel, and how can we get over it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's, like, the main thing for me. My parents were awesome during everything that I went through.
And for me personally, the way I cope is with my kids. I mean, it's somebody else there who you are.
They depend on
Yeah,
you. They
like
need you
think
to.
about something else.
Yeah, I mean, man, it makes you stronger because, you know, they need you to be there for them. Like, they don't even know what's going on yet, so they need you to fucking help them and let them know what's going on.
And you think that, like, you look at them and, like, I don't want my kids to ever feel like this, and I don't want to feel like this in front of them.
Exactly.
Or even, I don't want to feel like this at all. Yep, definitely my kids are my biggest help with anything. If I'm ever feeling sad or upset, just look at them. Go spend some time with them.
Yeah, that was the main thing that brought me out of my little cycle. Like, knowing someone depends on you. You can't. I couldn't keep fucking up and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you got to be solid for your little one.
All right, guys. It looks like we are going to wrap up here. So I just wanted to say at the end of this, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling like you want to hurt yourself or you want to hurt anyone else, just talk to somebody. That's my advice for you. Just go talk to somebody. It could be your parents. It could be your friends. It could be your coach. It could even be us. You could message us. We will get around to messaging you back. And just tell somebody. before you do something, what you may regret, or you might not feel like you'll regret it, but just know that there's someone out there who depends on you. And that's going to do it. As always, I'm Sam.
Puppy love.
Uncle Trent.
Big Daddy Germ.
Thank you for listening to Small Town Small Talk.